Well, it's a gorgeous day for baseball here as we are on the second day of spring, and right now it's 79 degrees in Baton Rouge. Winds out of the southwest and west at 6 to 10 miles an hour. No chance of rain. The sky is the color of turquoise today, and ideal conditions for the final game of this series. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. First for the Oklahoma team, it's Trey Gamble at the top of the order. He's in left field, followed by Camden Johnson. Brendan Brock is catching and hitting third. Jackson Willits is the shortstop. Dayton LaChance is at first base. The Canadian bats fifth. Alec Blair is in right field. Nolan Stevens is a DH. Kyle Branch plays second base and hits eighth. And Jason Walk is bringing up the rear as the center fielder. He made a couple of outstanding catches yesterday to help his team hold on to that 4-2 victory. Trey Gamble is 3 for 7 in this series to lead Oklahoma, which has only had 12 base hits in the entire series. LSU with just 15. William Schmidt makes his start for LSU, and it's a big one for him. It's a big one for his teammates, and it's a big one for Oklahoma.
Yeah, you could make the case easily the most important start of his career and the biggest game for LSU in the 2026 season, trying to get back to 500 at SEC play. William Schmidt has turned the corner, it looks like. Last year he sprayed the ball around, although he had some really nice moments, but this year he's been very consistently, and the key for him, obviously, is keeping Oklahoma off the base pass. They lead the SEC in stolen bases, and they're the third best stolen base team in the entire country. So if you're William Schmidt, you want to attack the strike zone and make Oklahoma earn their way on the bases.
They also lead the SEC in walks drawn, which puts them in a position to run those bases. So you're right, Ben. Control is extra important for Schmidt and the Tigers today. Here's Trey Gamble out of Alpine, Utah, hitting .356. He is one of 6 consecutive 300 hitters in this lineup.
This lineup can hit, but we talked about it in game 1 of this series, and I know y'all talked about it last night. It is a top-heavy lineup. The top 6 guys really hit well. The bottom 3, not so much. And if you're an LSU pitching staff, that's where you got to make your hay, is at the bottom 3.
Gamble is 8 for 18 in SEC play over the course of 5 games. Oklahoma has won 3 of those. The 3-1 pitch is a mitt popper for a strike.
How about that at 97, too? The stuff is there for William Schmidt. Coming out of high school a couple years ago, was the #1 right-handed pitcher in the entire country. Chose LSU instead and starts the game with a really nice strikeout.
So Schmidt had to come back. He was down in the count. Gamble is now 3 for 8 in the series.
I love this pitch here, Lynn. 3-2. You don't think he has some confidence in that little slider of his? 3-2 count, leadoff batter of the game. He bends a backdoor slider in there for his first strikeout of the day.
This brings on Camden Johnson, hitting .316. He has started all 23 games, make it 24 now for Oklahoma. He's hunting the first pitch and slices it foul.
This is a much improved Oklahoma offense year to year, averaging 8.2 runs per game this year.
This ball is well struck to left center field, and it is in the bleachers. His 3rd home run. Camden Johnson gives Oklahoma an immediate lead.
Well, we just got through saying a much improved offense. And Camden Johnson leans on his 3rd home run, his 14th RBI of the season. And the Sooners strike first in game 3 of this series. Looked like an elevated breaking ball to me, Lynn. Just kind of stayed up a little bit too much. The wind is going to favor the hitters today. It is gently pushing out towards center field. If you get it in the air, it's going to have a little extra carry to it.
That was only the 2nd hit of the series for Johnson, and he propelled it into the bleachers.
I mean, LSU has really pitched it well. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, we talked about Oklahoma. They came in averaging over 8 runs per game. LSU has held them now, counting this game, to 6 runs is what they've held them to in a little over 2 games now.
And that was only the 13th hit by Oklahoma in the 2+ games.
So that was one thing Jay Johnson talked about, is our pitching needs to get a little bit more consistent going into this weekend. To this point, it has been.
A call, 3rd strike. Schmidt comes back to take care of business on strikes after the home run by Johnson.
That's how you turn the corner and you flush what just happened. And William Schmidt went right after giving up a solo home run to Johnson. He goes right after Brendan Brock and punches him out on 3 pitches. No scar tissue from William Schmidt on that one.
Here's Jackson Willits, the shortstop. Willits is hitting .338. 6 doubles, 1 homer, 6 home runs. Or excuse me, 2 home runs. He goes after an elevated pitch and cannot find that 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
And look, I know Oklahoma just hit a home run, but home runs typically is not a big part of their game. They came in with just 23 home runs on the season. That was 13th out of 16 teams. But they create havoc when they get on the base pass.
Another way of putting it is that Jake Brown has about half as many home runs as the entire Oklahoma team.
Absolutely. It's not a big part of their game. Fastball down the way, and boy, gets it right off the front foot, does Willits. Got the pad on the front foot, but not down there where that big toe is, and that hurts.
That'll turn that big toe into a ping pong paddle.
Make you hop around.
Here's a drive hit well to right field. Brown locates it and makes the catch on the warning track. So Willits gives it a ride out to the warning track where Brown is waiting. But Camden Johnson ties into one.
Yeah, leans on an elevated breaking ball, powers it out to the backside of the field. Oklahoma takes an early 1-0 lead.
Lines up like this. Center fielder Derek Curiel, right fielder Jake Brown, first baseman Omar Cerna, who's making his initial start at first base. John Pearson is 3 for 8 in the series, including a home run and a double and a couple of RBI. He's the 4th place hitter. Stephen Milam is after him at shortstop. Edward Yaman is the DH. The left fielder Chris Stanfield, he's moved up to 7th. Trent Caraway is hitting 8th at second base, and Kate Arambidi is behind the plate batting 9th. And this lineup is going to have to take its cuts against a big right-hander, Cord Rager.
Yeah, I tell you what, Rager, 6'6", 237-pound true freshman out of Maypearl, Texas. And I tell you what, he's been pretty good so far this year. Making his 6th start of the season. See where the ERA is, and I love his strikeout-to-walk ratio. 4-to-1 strikeout-to-walk ratio. The big thing for him, control your emotions. Oklahoma opened up at home in SEC play last weekend. First big series for them on the road. And this freshman, this is going to be the wildest environment he has ever pitched in. So let's see if he can navigate that first inning.
Leading off the LSU first inning, center fielder number 6, Derek Curiel.
Curiel comes to the plate for LSU with a .323 average. That's second best among the regulars. 30 base hits. That's 7 behind Jake Brown, who has the team lead. Lefty to lefty to get things started. That misses. 2-0.
Rager's got a fastball, a little cut fastball, a split finger fastball, and a traditional curveball in. He likes his fastball. Typically, he's going to use it about 66% of the time.
The outfield is deep against Curiel and playing him as an opposite field hitter. And Rager has missed on 3 straight offerings. Curiel waits and takes it high. So the first 4 pitches miss, and LSU has an immediate base runner.
That's exactly what LSU needs to do. Control the strike zone from an offensive standpoint. Attack balls over the white part of the plate.
Jake Brown.
Take your walks and try to create a little havoc.
Brown is 1 for 4 in the series. He's hitting 6 points short of 400. 11 homers, 37 driven in.
Only 1 base hit in his 2 games so far, but he's been getting on base a lot, Lynn. Got the walks in his favor. There's a good read by Curiel. Sees the ball just pop away from the catcher. Brendan Brock takes an extra 90. And LSU will have their first runner in scoring position of the day. And we talked about this red zone offense. How do you perform with runners in scoring position? Been a rough go, really, for both of these teams this series. LSU 4 for 24 in 2 games with runners in scoring position. Oklahoma 3 for 17. So neither one of these teams have performed well with their red zone offense, if that's what you want to call it.
Jake Brown watches a breaking pitch curl outside. 2 balls and a strike on one of the best hitters in the SEC. That's high. Rager is having trouble finding the plate in the early going. It's 3-1.
Well, Rager's last time out was against Texas A&M last week, and it was his worst start of the season. He gave up 4 earned runs in just 3 innings of work. Only threw 62 pitches and was out of the ball game. He's not scared to challenge with that fastball. We talked about it. He's going to throw it 2/3 of the time typically. And normally, Lynn, he's really tough on lefties. I mean, his opponent's batting average, opponent's only hitting 205 off of him, but lefty's only hitting 133 on the season.
Brown goes down on strikes. He was ahead in the count 3-1. Then may have helped Rager a little bit on that second to last pitch.
Really good 4-seam fastball right toward the bottom of the zone. Too close for Jake Brown to take. And a big first out for the freshman Cord Rager.
Here's Omar Cerna. He's LSU's best hitter over the last 6 games. He takes a strike.
Yeah, Jay Johnson kept giving him some opportunities here and there. Said he'd probably catch every Saturday in SEC play. Kind of like Kate Arambidi did last year behind Luis Hernandez. But the bat is starting to play, and so Cerna finds himself this time at first base for the first time. And look out.
This one is high. This one is deep. This one is not coming back. Tucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. Home run number 3 immediately extends Cerna's hitting streak to 7 games, and just like that, the Tigers reverse their fortunes and take a 2-1 lead.
My goodness, huh? Come on now, kid. There's a freshman for you. Freshman on freshman right there, and Omar Cerna Jr. wins that battle. You talk about getting all of them. 216 stitches on a baseball, and I think he covered every one of them on that swing right there.
A 380-foot blast that got into the bleachers in a hurry.
Boy, watch this swing here. He knew it when he touched it, Lynn. He had home run number 3 on the season.
And right now, the guy you just saw at the plate is LSU's best hitter. 7 games in a row he has had a hit.
Well, Jay Johnson came out and said a couple weeks ago, he said, I got to find a way to get Arambidi and Omar Cerna Jr. in the lineup because they're difference makers at the plate.
Camden Johnson homered with the bases empty in the top of the inning. Omar Cerna rips one out of the ballpark with Curiel on first, or actually second base, when the home run came. And we've got a 2-1 game. Pearson takes a strike. 1 out. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 runs in for the Tigers on Cerna's 3rd home run.
Another guy that's been getting consistent playing time for LSU, that man right there, John Pearson. He's had a nice series.
Pearson late with that swing. And goes down on strikes.
At the plate for LSU, shortstop number 4, Stephen Milam.
Here's Stephen Milam. He's batted all over the order.
Yeah, I think Jay Johnson is just searching, Lynn. He's searching for some consistency with the offense. And the offense was pretty consistent last weekend at Vanderbilt. LSU scored a lot of runs. But looking for a little bit more consistency, so that lineup continues to get juggled around a little bit.
And Stephen Milam has fallen off to 244. 1 homer, 13 driven in. That's hit very sharply, gloved by Branch at second base. And he gets it over to LaChance for the final out. But LSU on this swing from Omar Cerna takes a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, Oklahoma. Solo shot of their own. Omar Cerna Jr. says, hold my water. Watch me hit a 2-run homer. And he did. LSU up 2-1.
It played a part early. One team has a solo homer. LSU has a 2-run homer. Lots of folks enjoying the sunshine and the atmosphere here at Alex Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field. By the way, Ben, we're going to have a special guest coming up in the third inning. Warren Morris will be here. This is the 30th anniversary this year of the iconic home run, the only walk-off home run in the history of the College World Series. And the author of that, Warren Morris, will stop by for an inning in the third.
Only walk-off home run in the championship game. Unfortunately, I gave up a walk-off home run there, but it was not the championship game.
I thought I would let that slide,
and
but
listen,
I appreciate your honesty in bringing that up.
But here's the truth. I was so happy for so many reasons when Warren Morris hit that home run, because it made everybody forget about the home run that I gave up. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So not only was I happy for LSU, so happy for Warren Morris, but I was happy for myself, too. I was like, maybe LSU fans will forget 1987, and they'll remember 1996 more, and they have.
LaChance is a Canadian. He's from Quebec. The 2-1 pitch from Schmidt misses. And Ben, you've talked about it many, many times over the years. Even though we are early in the game, it's really important for Schmidt to come out and throw a good inning here after his team lifts itself from a 1-0 deficit and takes the lead.
Yeah, because right now LSU has all the momentum, right? And we overuse the term shutdown inning too much, but it's anytime your team goes out and they give you a lead, especially after you've given up a run, when you go out and you stack a 0, you just keep the momentum in your dugout.
Jake Brown takes the towering fly ball. He didn't have to move much in right field. Right now, every fielder has to contend with the sun. There are some patchy clouds overhead, but a lot of sunshine.
A lot of sunshine and a good bit of wind, too. That wind is pushing out pretty good, so everybody's got to pursue the ball, and that's when your communication, outfield communication, infield communication starts to play.
Alec Blair sends another one out to right field. Brown on the run, looking for it, and he's got it. So 2 fly ball outs quickly to right field.
I'll tell you what, William Schmidt pounding the strike zone, and Oklahoma very aggressive early off of William Schmidt.
Here's the DH, Nolan Stevens.
And I'm going to tell you, as a pitcher, you don't mind the opposing team being aggressive. You just got to know that, and you talk about making quality pitches. If you make quality pitches, what does that allow you to do? Collect some quick outs, and you stay in the ball game a little bit longer because you keep your pitch count down.
Stevens is making his second start in the series. He was 1 for 3 in the first game. Yeah, it's funny how that works with the pitch count. Usually, the more strikeouts you get, the higher the pitch count.
Right. But if you can strike him out quickly, you know, maybe not take 6 or 7 or 8 pitches to strike a guy out. Maybe you get a strikeout in 4 or 5 pitches, and you get some early contact. Keep that pitch count down and able to work.
Smith got that pitch in tight on the hitter. LSU's infield shifts now. Schmidt over the top. Stevens fouls it off the other way.
And William Schmidt's going to pick up the majority of his strikeouts land with one of those two breaking balls. In high school, it was fastball, curveball, changeup, but he's developed a slider this year, and actually he trusts his slider even more than he does the curveball right now.
The 1-2 pitch pulled down to the new first baseman, Cerna. He makes the play over to Smith. That was an 11-pitch inning. Schmidt very economical. We go to the bottom of the second. LSU 2, Oklahoma 1. Johnson is in his 9th season as Oklahoma head coach. He's 6 out of 8 in putting his team into the NCAA tournament. And they had a banner year in 2022. He was the runner-up in the College World Series.
Runner-up to Ole Miss.
And on the other side, of course, Jay Johnson has had 2 national championships at LSU. Here's Edward Yaman. First pitch swinging and bounces it foul.
Well, the first 2 batters of the game for LSU, both left-handers. We talked about Rager, really good against left-handers. Righties have hit him a lot better. Now he's got to deal with 7 consecutive righties. There's Jay Johnson.
.708 winning percentage. One of the best in the country over the last 5 years. Yaman has only had 8 at-bats, Ben. He's 3 for 8, though. Out of West Sand Lake, New York.
Big kid, too. 6'5". And hadn't even filled out yet. And there's some pretty good juice in this bat.
He recognized the off-speed pitch. You could see the bat trying to be held back. He manages to get a piece of it to stay alive. Rager misses with a breaking ball.
Rager out of Maypearl, Texas.
Oklahoma has won 18 and dropped 5. They are 3-2 in the league. LSU is 16-8 and winners of 2 of 5 in SEC play. The 3-2 pitch to the tall target, Yaman. Ball 4. That's a good at bat for Yaman.
Excellent at bat. 2 innings now for LSU. The leadoff guy has reached each of the first 2 innings. And that's what LSU and Jay Johnson's been talking about, is consistent pressure on pitchers and defense by getting on base.
And they both came on walks.
Yep. And look, LSU did a great job last year. If you remember, I mean, they had one of the highest on-base percentages in the country. And while maybe the team batting average not quite where LSU wants it yet, they are still getting on base.
Yaman takes a pretty healthy lead. Chris Stanfield likes the first pitch, but fouls it straight back.
Yeah, he kind of squared around like he was going to put a sacrifice bunt down and pulled it back and swung away.
Stanfield hitting an even 300 in very limited duty.
I was visiting with Stanfield around the batting cage on Thursday. He told me, I said, how's the hand? He said, you know, it's not 100% yet. He said, I would call it about 80, 85%, but it's getting stronger. He said, it doesn't hurt me. It's just the strength is not all the way back in that left hand. You see, he's got it wrapped up. Big for LSU to get Chris Stanfield back in that lineup. He's a difference maker on defense. He's a center fielder playing left field. Of course, he has the speed. And let's not forget, he led LSU in conference play last year in batting average, hit over 300 in SEC play alone.
He did not swing. Two to one Tigers on a two-run home run by Cerna, which erased the early lead on the homer by Camden Johnson. He tried to bring that pitch over the outside edge. It stayed wide. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Stanfield.
A couple of good takes by Stanfield. He's just looking for a mistake right here in a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
That's chopped to the left side, short hopped and out at second, and a scoop and an out at first. Well done. Ben, that's the 3rd double play LSU has hit into over the last 4 or 5 innings.
That was an impressive double play turn right there, because it was a short hop to the third baseman, Johnson, over at third base. Because if he retreats right here, he can't turn 2. But see how he comes forward, picks it, a perfect throw to the second baseman, Branch, and watch the finish on the back end by the first baseman. Scoops it right off, does LaChance. A little 5-4-3 double play.
Last night, Oklahoma had a pair of 5-4-3 double plays late in the game, and their defense was really the deciding factor last night.
Yeah, and in game 1, it was a deciding factor in the wrong way. They had 3 errors in game 1 on Thursday, cost them a couple of unearned runs.
So this brings on Trent Carraway with the bases empty, 2-0. Hitting .250, a couple of homers, 15 RBI. He got off to a very impressive start offensively, but has tailed off in recent days. This one is slapped again to Johnson, and the throw draws the first baseman LaChance off the bag, but he makes the tag, and as it turns out, only 3 batters come to the plate for the Tigers. We go to the 3rd. It's 2-1, LSU leading Oklahoma. Has a hit, each team has a home run. LSU leads 2-1 over Oklahoma as we play in the top of the 3rd inning. Let's set the Tigers defensively for you. It's Chris Stanfield, Derek Curiel, and Jake Brown from left to right in the pasture. John Pearson is at 3rd base. Stephen Milam is next to him. Trent Carraway is the second baseman. Omar Cerna gets the start for the first time at first base, and Cade Arambidi is behind the plate for LSU.
Yeah, Zach York, first time this year, has not been in the lineup. He gets a day off, and Omar Cerna Jr. making his first start of the season over at first base.
Branch, Walk, and Gamble, 8, 9, and 1 in the order here against Schmidt in the 3rd.
Yeah, this is the bottom part of the lineup I was talking about for Oklahoma, and maybe where there's a little daylight for a pitcher to work. Because if you look at Stevens hitting .250, Branch hitting .196, and Walk hitting .237, 8, and 9. Now, the first 6 in this Oklahoma lineup are stout.
Stout meaning each of them are hitting above 300.
Yes.
The 1-2 pitch over the top, but it stays elevated. This is officially the 2nd day of spring, and what a lovely day for baseball.
And you couldn't have ordered a day any better than this. You couldn't throw a breaking ball any better than that right there. William Schmidt picks up his 3rd strikeout of the day. And Lynn, when he's spinning them breaking balls in there, both the slider and the curveball, those are difference makers for him, because you got to get your foot down as a hitter, right? He's throwing 95 to 97. You got to get your foot down and respect that fastball. When he bends that breaking ball in there, it can hurt your feelings.
That's what Kason Evans did so effectively in the first game of the series.
Oklahoma's a very good fastball hitting team.
Jason Walk carries a .230 average to the plate. Interestingly enough, Schmidt has not been particularly effective with first pitch strikes, but overall 70% of his pitches have been over the plate. This ball has a lot of spin to it. And not in time at first base. Jason Walk beats the throw from Aaron Beatty. So the first two hits went over the wall. This one spins about 45 feet.
Watch Aaron Beatty right here. I mean, you got to know who's running. And when you talk about Jason Walk, he can fly. But watch Aaron Beatty. He picks the ball up and kind of double clutches it, almost touches it back to his mitt and then releases it. That's the difference from being out or safe at first base. Because, again, every one of these Sooners, man, they can run. If you missed it earlier, #1 team in the SEC in stolen bases and #3 in the entire country in stolen bases. It's the biggest part of their offensive game, and he probably won't be at first base very long.
Gamble at the top of the order swings through the first pitch.
Watch Aaron Beatty right here. He comes out and does everything right, but watch him when he barehands the ball, goes back to the glove right there. You see him go back to the glove? Well, that's an extra step or two and a difference in being out and safe.
Schmidt misses with a fastball in the mid-90s.
Walk's got 10 stolen bases. He's your base runner at first base.
He's only been caught a couple of times. Schmidt cuts loose with a good heater. The Tigers backpedal into that exaggerated shift again. 3 infielders on the right side. And Pearson, the third baseman, playing in a normal shortstop position. There goes the runner, and Aaron Beatty loses the ball as he was trying to make the throw. So a stolen base for Walk, and you're right, Ben, he wasn't content to stay at first.
Well, they're going to play the guessing game with William Schmidt, because when he gets the 2 strikes, Schmidt, he likes to use the breaking ball. And the breaking balls take a little bit longer to get to home plate, which means the runner may be a little bit more advantage. Aaron Beatty's got to go because he knows how fast Walk is. And that transfer from glove to hand, not there. But a really good jump by Walk, his 11th stolen base of the season.
Aaron Beatty has only a 2 for 13 success rate in catching base runners. The pitch misses, and we go to a full count with first base open now. This is Gamble at the top of the order. Johnson is next. He homered last time. The wind is blowing toward center field. It's a hitter's wind. The 3-2 pitch with 1 out. Bounced foul. Walk at second base. Again, the 3-2 pitch and the look back. LSU 2-1. First inning home runs accounting for the scoring so far. That misses. And so the first walk of the game fills up first base. Let's go back and look at the swing by Johnson in the first.
Yeah, he came up in the first inning. Got an elevated breaking ball. Boy, I tell you what, he powered it to the backside of the field. Got it up in the air, and the wind took it just over the fence. It was Camden Johnson's 3rd long ball of the year. LSU would answer right back. Omar Cerner Jr. in the bottom of the first inning, a 2-run shot.
We will be speaking with Warren Morris from the ballpark in the bottom of the inning. It's the 30-year anniversary this summer of the most iconic home run in the history of the College Baseball World Series.
It's hard to believe it's been 30 years.
Warren looks like he's 28.
It's one of those places you never forget where you were
no
when
doubt.
he hit that home run. I remember I had pitched against the Red Sox at Fenway Park. I think I pitched 6 or 7 innings, and I went into the clubhouse because LSU was playing, and I wanted to see it. Of course, when you come out of the game, you don't have to stay out there. So I had an ice pack on my shoulder sitting there, and more and more stepped to the plate and hit that home run. And as I said, I was so glad because it made everybody in LSU land forget about the home run that I gave up at the College World Series. And Warren Morris.
Not everybody. Not everybody.
You told me you forgot about it. That was like 40 years ago. Warren was 30 years ago.
It's reemerged.
Yeah. Well, let's not talk about that anymore.
Johnson batting .325, 14 driven in now. The one-strike pitch. That was a breaking ball intended to catch the outside corner, but it didn't come back.
One thing William Schmidt has been able to do this year, I always like to look at runners in scoring position as a hitter, but I like to see how pitchers perform when they get runners in scoring position against them. William Schmidt, opponents are hitting 105 off of him this year with runners in scoring position. We'll hope that stays true.
That's about as good as you can get. 2 balls and a strike now. Walk, had an infield hit, and moved up to second base on a base on balls from Campbell. Johnson at the plate, a capable left-handed hitter. He goes right back to the fastball and throws it right into the groove for a strike. This is the make it happen pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out. LSU holding on to a 1-run lead.
Back-to-back fastballs. So he's got him set up for a breaking ball. And you may be thinking, well, why would he throw a breaking ball, Ben? He just hit it for a home run. But it was a bad breaking ball. If you throw the ball where you want to put it, and William Schmidt would like to throw this breaking ball, if he throws it here, start it as a strike and have it go to the bottom of the zone, and he might get that swing and a miss that he's looking for.
That's what he tried, but he left it high and away. Let's check the runners here. There's only 1 out, but it's a count of 3-2 for a team that loves to scamper on the base paths.
Think he goes back with the breaking ball here, Lynn? First and second, 1 out, 3-2 count. He just missed with the breaking ball, 2-2.
I'm thinking fastball, but we'll see. Nope, he did come back with the bender. Oh, what a grand sight it is on this beautiful afternoon in Baton Rouge. Hardly a seat to be had in Alex Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field. 2-1 Tigers. Tight ball game early. Runners moving. Ball 4, and now the water is starting to boil around William Schmidt. An infield hit after a strikeout, 2 consecutive walks. And Oklahoma has sniffed blood right now. And the Tigers will send some folks down to the warm-up area to get a few pitchers ready in case Schmidt falters.
And you got to face Brennan Brock, who leads Oklahoma in both home runs and RBIs as well.
Schmidt struck him out the first time they met today. The infield is at double play depth. There's a good-looking pitch. Slider, Ben, right there?
A little hard slider at 88.
That thing darted like a shad in shallow water.
Took a hard left. Back-to-back sliders, perfectly placed. Options now. You weren't thinking ground ball double play, but now on an 0-2 count, William Schmidt's thinking one thing: swing and miss.
Brock is 1 for 4 this season with the bases loaded.
Nice. Very nice by Aaron Beatty right there. Aaron Beatty started the year so good behind home plate, blocking everything, catching the ball. A little bit of a struggle here lately, but this is as good as it gets right here. Turns the glove around, wasn't able to get the body all the way in front of it, but just knocks it down and kills it at home plate with the tie and run just 90 feet away.
And he induces a reach for pitch that was well out of the strike zone. Brandon Brock was completely fooled on that. That's his second strikeout of the day. And Schmidt makes a huge pitch right here.
I'm telling you, anything turned like this, Lynn, ought to have a blinker on it. That thing went hard right to left, and a big-time pitch by William Schmidt. Just what he needed. Now can he finish it?
There is still work to be done. The bases remain loaded. There are 2 outs. Here's Willits. He's also a dangerous hitter. 338 is his average. He's had 10 extra base hits. Walk is at third. Gamble at second. Johnson on first.
Yes, sir.
Steve right.
Best fastball today at 97. Little paint piece just on the outside edge. Boy, this would be huge for LSU and huge for William Schmidt to work out of this.
Let's let the crowd tell the story. You know what one of the greatest sounds in all of sports is? When you just close your eyes, listen to the crowd, and let it tell you what's going on. Which is what we'll do right here. I don't think there'll be a play. No, there will not. That bounces in the bullpen for Oklahoma. So close your eyes at home and listen to this crowd. It'll tell you what's happening here at Alex Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field. 1 ball, 2 strikes, bases loaded. That is way out of the ballpark, but very much fouled.
William Schmidt's got a little wiggle room here. 1 ball and 2 strikes, so he doesn't have to throw a strike here. I kind of like elevated fastball, maybe just above the top of the zone. Maybe you get that swing and a miss. Or you can throw a curveball. That's how you do it, Lynn Rollins. Bases loaded and only 1 out. Only thing William Schmidt does is reach back for a little bit of extra. How about back-to-back strikeouts? He gets Johnson and Brock. LSU off the field, up by 1.
Warren Morris joins us now, the hero of that moment, truly one of the most iconic moments in all of sports, and something that will never be forgotten in the history of the College World Series. Warren, does it seem like 30 years?
No, not at all. It's been a while, but yeah, it doesn't seem that long.
Do you ever get tired of seeing that?
No, I always say I never get tired because it always ends well. It's a good finish.
Yeah, it ended about as good as it could end for sure.
That's the beginning of the championship gold uniforms right there.
That's right.
Love seeing it every 3rd game now.
Now tell me about the circumstances that brought you to the plate in the first place to have an opportunity to do what you did.
Yeah, because to start off that inning, Brad Wilson had to get a double. Then Justin Bowles hit a ground ball, moved him to 3rd. Tim Lanier battled to a full count. Good pitch, swung and missed. So that put me up, batting in the 9-hole, and you know, I guess the rest is history, but you never know. I mean, who knew the 9-hole hitter's going to hit a home run to walk it off?
Well, not only was it your first home run, it came with a brand new bat. Let's see how far this carries to the wall, but not far enough from an LSU standpoint. And there's the first out of the inning. But that was the first time you'd used this particular bat the whole season, right?
It was. You know, Coach Bertman had a hitting facility, and he got his daughter came in town with some new bats to kind of use and let everybody see on TV, the guys, and everybody's superstitious. Nobody wanted to use a new bat for the championship except me. And I said, hey, I'm batting 9th. It doesn't matter. I'll use it. So that's the only game I use that bat for.
Normally you want those bats that are broken a little bit where
right.
You get that trampoline effect coming off of it, but it certainly worked for you. Now tell the people at home that don't know the story. You were obviously injured early in the year, and you came back late. But then, Coach Bergman, you didn't swing a whole lot when you first came back.
No, in fact, when I came back for the regionals, I still wasn't near 100%. You know, just bunted a lot, kind of slapped at the ball, and not until that championship game, I told Coach in batting practice, today's the first day I feel like I'm 100%.
I feel like I can swing.
Yeah.
Wow. That is an incredible. I mean, the only home run you hit all year, right?
That's it.
I mean, that's amazing.
I know. You know, just to think if that injury gets diagnosed a week later, well, I'm not 100%.
Right.
So it's just incredible.
The stars had to line up in a lot of different ways, no doubt. It was LSU. It was your time, and it was LSU's time.
It was destiny for that Tiger team to win it.
Well, you only played in 22 games, as I recall, and all 22 of those went into the win column.
That's right. Yeah, and I don't know if that was all me, but yeah, 22-0 in those games that I got the chance to play with, and you know, just a great team, and just cool to be the exclamation mark for that championship.
Warren, nobody in the United States had ever heard of the hamate bone. We'll get you to explain what exactly that is and how it affected you. But you know what? Tommy John has a surgery named after him. You ought to as well. It could be the hamate, could be the Morris hamate bone.
That's right.
Yeah, it's just this
Show
little,
us right here.
Yeah, just a little bone at the base of your wrist right there. You know, it's a hook, and so I broke that broken piece. Come to find out, I didn't realize it, but guys like Ken Griffey Jr., Jose Canseco had that same injury. They just take the broken piece out, and then once the scar is healed enough for you to play, you're back in there. So it worked out for me. 29 days later, our regional started.
Now, a lot of hitters will hold the knob of the bat in their hand, and it's a pretty common injury that we hear about. Were you one of those guys that kind of held the knob right there? Because I hear about more of those guys on check swings and swings, because the knob is near that hamate bone. It will kind of break that bone off. But you weren't one of those guys that put the knob there.
No, I never did the knob off the bat, but just that, I guess, continual jarring.
Yeah.
Just had a swing like 12 games into that season. Knew when I got on first base, had no strength in my hand. Knew something was wrong, but they didn't see the break early, so that's why it kind of took a while to diagnose it.
You know, there's a Morris on this team right now, 30 years from your shining moment. Your daughter is involved.
That's right. She's an important member of this team. She's a bat girl. This is her third year to do it. She loves it, and she's actually working the game today, so it's been a lot of fun to watch her out on the field.
Congratulations right now for what you will enjoy later in the summer as you become a member of the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame with the presentation of the Special Ambassador Award to you in that ceremony. It's going to be a good night.
Oh, definitely. Just a special award. You know, the state of Louisiana, you look at all the athletes. I mean, it's incredible. So just to be mentioned with all that group and to be an ambassador, I guess, you know, for LSU, Louisiana baseball, just I'm pumped up. Can't wait for June.
How many people know that you wanted to be a doctor?
Probably not many. You know, I've worked in a bank for 20 years. I like to say I'm the only banker in the nation that has a degree in zoology. Got my pre-med
Ben, can you
degree.
spell that?
No, I don't know nothing about zoology. I don't know nothing about a degree either. Either one. They both have eluded me.
But yeah, you know, ended up playing 9 years of pro ball and just decided to go a different route. But yeah, that was the plan when I was a student here.
Take me back to that moment. How long, because it all happened so fast, it had to feel like a dream. How long before you actually realized what really happened that day?
Oh, you're right. It was a whirlwind. I really don't think until I got back to the hotel and, you know, guys were going out doing different things and just took a minute to look on TV at ESPN and saw Sports Center and myself on the highlight that I registered. Wait a minute, that's a pretty big deal.
Started to sink in a little bit.
Right.
Is it true that after the game that the bus left you?
That is true. That is true. In the midst of the chaos, I got left at the stadium.
How does that happen? The guy that hit the walk-off home run missed the bus. They didn't even know it.
I was preoccupied. There was a lot going on after that game. But, yeah, I looked around, found my dad, who thankfully was still there, and had to walk through a neighborhood in Omaha to get to his car just to get back to the hotel like I was 12.
In uniform?
In uniform, full uniform.
That's great.
Your lasting impressions, the things that Skip Bertman meant to you.
Oh, just unbelievable. You know, I always say you learn more than education in baseball. You learned an education in life. You know, just the many lessons and things that helped us be champions out here in the field. That's what you need to be an excellent friend, excellent parent, excellent co-worker. You know, he's with everybody that played for him. Just meant a lot to my life, and you know, just proud that I was able to be under him, and you know, the greatest college coach of all time.
That's
clearly.
right.
Brown on the way to second base. He makes it. He is LSU's primary base stealer.
Yeah, Brown led LSU in stolen bases last year, and he's doing it again this year too. Got a pretty good jump and a really good pitch to run on the breaking ball in the dirt. Off and moving, takes an extra 90, gets in the scoring position.
Warren, is there a day that goes by that there's not some recognition of what you did 30 years ago?
Oh, yeah. I mean, probably not every day that somebody says something, but I bet you there's not a week that goes by. You know, a 7-day period, someone's going to come up, tell me, hey, you wouldn't believe I was at this place, or I was at this wedding reception, or this exit whenever that ball's hit. So just cool over the years, the hundreds of people that have come up and told me their story.
Well, you have handled the fame, the notoriety perfectly. This ball is headed toward shallow center field. Shortstop backs up and grabs it, and the inning is over. I hope that you will thoroughly enjoy the upcoming Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame ceremony, and more than that, perhaps a replay 30 years later of what occurred to make history in college baseball.
That's right. No, looking forward to it, and it's always fun to be back here at the box.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, guys.
Warren Morris, one of the heroes of all time in the history of LSU and college sports.
This time gone. My goodness. But it will never be forgotten by LSU baseball fans.
And
ever.
never duplicated, even if another walk-off occurs, because that was the first one in the championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Dayton LaChance as we resume play in the top of the fourth. Schmidt had to cast ice on a would-be rally for Oklahoma last inning. He got a couple of strikeouts with the bases loaded.
Yeah, he struck out the first batter, then he get a single and back-to-back walks to load the bases with just one out. But man, he elevated his game like the good ones find a way to do. And back-to-back strikeouts to get the Tigers off the field.
LaChance flied to right field last time. Brown has been pretty busy out there. He's caught 3 fly balls in the early going. The sun is still a factor here, as we've played about an hour. The 1-2 pitch from William Schmidt. That misses high.
That's what William Schmidt likes to do with that fastball when he gets a hit. He likes to throw it above the top of the zone because it sets up typically the breaking ball. If you don't get the swing and miss that you want, and it kind of sets up the breaking ball after that.
And there it is, right on cue.
Now, in a perfect world, he'd like to get that fastball, maybe not quite that high, maybe about 6 inches above the top of the strike zone to really make a hitter think about if he wants to swing at it. And then if you don't get the swing and the miss, right back behind it with his best pitch, which is his breaking ball.
That's up on the roof.
See the pitch count at 67 for William Schmidt here in the 4th inning. Yes, he did.
It's a check swing, 3rd strike.
How about 3 strikeouts in a row now for William Schmidt? And another breaking ball, starts it in the zone and just gets it right off the outside edge. And yes, he definitely swung at it.
At the plate,
6 strikeouts for Schmidt against a couple of walks. Alec Blair, a freshman from California, hitting .313. 3 1/3 innings to this point. A couple of hits, 1 run, 2 walks. They came back to back.
Been really good so far.
And the 6 strikeouts. A lot of those lately. We've got a 2-1 ball game brewing in Baton Rouge.
Well, William Schmidt has come a long way, Lynn, from last year in his freshman year.
Pearson backs up, has time to get straight to the throw, and a long stretch by Cerna. He was able to hold on to the bag with that toe as Pearson threw it to the right field side, but Cerna turned it into an out.
Omar Cerna Jr. is a pretty good athlete. Throw a little bit down the first base line and watch Cerna. Somehow he keeps maybe a big toe on there. Did he stay on? Looks like he did. That's a nice job right there.
But there's going to be a challenge here. Did he come off the bag? That's what Oklahoma is saying, that the contact was not there.
We'll see how this turns out. It looked like from the view that we saw that Cerna kept that right foot on the bag. But they'll be able to slow it down frame by frame and maybe even zoom in to make sure.
The runner will be out. Oklahoma has 1 challenge remaining.
So there you got the explanation.
Yeah,
the original ruling is upheld.
You got a little bit more than an explanation at one point, but it's a nice job by Omar Cerna Jr.
At the plate, designated hitter Nolan Stevens.
Well, there's always something new at a game, isn't there?
Got to watch the hot mics. They'll get you.
Here's Nolan Stevens, who carries a .244 average to the plate. And a breaker misses tight. Stevens grounded out. Pitcher, or first base to pitcher covering last time. We play in the 4th. Steve right levels the count at 1.
Well, that's a game changer for William Schmidt, and a game changer for any pitcher. Anytime you get yourself in a fastball count and you can throw something other than a fastball, normally going to have a lot of success.
He tried to come over the top with the bender, but left it high. Nolan Stevens is out of Elk Grove, California. Right back to a nifty pitch in a good location.
2 different speeds on those 2 breaking balls, Lynn. That slider a little bit harder, a little right to left in it, and then that overhand curveball a lot more depth to it and a little bit slower. So it's hard to game plan against 2 different breaking balls, and William Schmidt's going to use them both equally. Wow. Could have been called. Cade Aaron Beatty thought he had strike 3, and so did William Schmidt. Good 4-seam fastball right to the inside part of the plate.
Schmidt shakes off his sign and brings the 3-2 pitch. Right back up the middle. Milam can't get it. And Oklahoma extends the inning with 2 outs.
Pretty good at bat right there by Nolan Stevens. Finally got a pitch he could handle, breaking ball left up, and just kind of bounced it right back up the middle.
That's only the 3rd hit for the Sooners. LSU has only 1.
That ball had a lot of top spin. You see that last hop hit, it almost sped up. It had so much top spin on it. Milam couldn't quite get to it.
That's slapped on a hop under the glove of John Pearson. So runners at first and second now as Branch keeps the inning alive following the base hit by Stevens with one of his own. Ben, base hits have been very difficult to find.
Yeah.
Oklahoma has 4, 2 of them in this inning. LSU has been held to just 1. That was the 2-run home run.
Well, the Sooners going to keep on coming. They ain't no quitting this team. If you know anything about Skip Johnson, he is one of the best in the business, and he got his club ready to play. Sooners trying to go 4-2 with a win today in SEC play. If LSU wins, they'll get back to 500 in conference play at 3-3.
Both teams homered in the first inning. And the lead that LSU built in that frame, 2-1, still stands in the top of the fourth. But Oklahoma is threatening. This will be the 80th pitch of the game for Schmidt. Walk at an infield hit last time. He's batting .242 at the bottom of the order.
LSU does have some bullpen activity. Gavin Guidry starting to get loose down there.
The infield is back with 2 outs. There's a force on any base. 1-0 to walk. Very good off-speed pitch right there. One ball, 1 strike. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. LSU clinging to a 1-run lead.
Wow. Back-to-back perfectly placed sliders. Now some options for William Schmidt to finish here. 6 strikeouts on the day, trying to make it number 7.
And he does.
Boy, big time. William Schmidt, I tell you what, every time Oklahoma so far, Lynn, got runners in scoring position, William Schmidt has come up big. And always say, spin them if you got them. And he is spinning that breaking ball today.
In the first inning, they came off home runs. And we move to the bottom of the fourth as LSU is out hit, or has been out hit 4-1 by Oklahoma. But the difference is a Cerna home run back in the first inning with a man aboard. And John Pearson is at the plate. He struck out in the first. Cord Rager has done a wonderful job with the exception of 1 pitch that he left over the plate for Cerna to hammer into the left field bleachers.
No, for a true freshman in this environment, in a rubber game, he has been pretty doggone good today.
Let's turn our attention to LSU softball. In 12 innings yesterday, LSU lost to South Carolina. The Tigers are up 4-0 in the bottom of the fourth in the second game of that series. And that'll take care of John Pearson.
Speaking of South Carolina, did you see the news in South Carolina baseball? Paul Maneri was let go today by South Carolina, relieved of his duties.
It's been a tough go for him over there in a year and a half, basically. He leaves South Carolina with a record of 40-40, but not much success in the SEC.
Yeah. Didn't win many games last year, off to a rough start this year with South Carolina. That's a proud program. A team that won back-to-back national titles. Matter of fact, it was the last team in college baseball to win back-to-back College World Series.
I have not heard word about his successor. I'm pretty sure it'll come from the current staff while they undertake a full-blown search for the next head coach.
Will be named interim head coach, I'm sure. They will search for a head coach this offseason.
One out, Milam at the plate. He bounced out 4-3 last time.
We're getting word that Monty Lee was named interim head coach, one of the assistant coaches.
South Carolina will come here later in the year, right?
I think you're right.
Now batting for the Tigers, designated
Yes, South Carolina comes to Baton Rouge the weekend, first weekend in May, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. LSU will host Kentucky here in Baton Rouge next weekend. Kentucky's got a good team this year.
Here's Yaman, who walked last time. Out at second base on a very close play. Milam tried to take second base as that ball bounced away from Brock. Brock recovered and really cut loose with a superb throw.
That's a big-time play. Watch Brennan Brock behind home plate. Knocks this ball down, doesn't hesitate, rips the mask off, and watch the dart.
LSU
Just
is challenging
a dart down
the
to
ruling
second
of
base.
out at second base.
Outer safe. We about to find. I think he's going to be out right there. That is close.
That is very close. But I'm with you. I think David Susi made the correct call. If this holds up, Ben, Brock has caught 5 of 11 would-be base stealers. That's good stuff.
He can throw.
So we will wait for Birmingham to make the decision.
And give Kyle Branch a lot of credit to the second baseman for the Sooners. A very quick tag. I didn't see enough in that one replay to overturn that one.
After review, the runner is out. LSU has 1 challenge remaining.
So 2 gone in the inning with Yaman still at the plate.
Yep, there's your tag. Just inches before the left hand got in there by Milam.
What a great look by the Hawkeye camera setup here.
Love the way they can zoom in and still keep it clear, too. There was a time you could zoom in, but it got real grainy, but now you can really tell.
2-1 on Edward Yaman. There have been 3 prior Edwin Yamans to him. He's the 4th. The outfield is pretty deep and straight away. The wind has shifted a little bit. It's blowing more from left to right, but still out toward right center field.
There's a good look at it.
Yaman cannot find that pitch. It might have been elevated, but a couple of strikeouts in the inning for Cord Rager. So we move on. This game is tighter than a tick in a blood bank. 2-1. LSU leading Oklahoma. Indeed. So Oklahoma, which has held LSU to 1 hit, that was a 2-run homer in the first, will bring out Gamble and Johnson and Brock representing the top of the order as we play in the 5th inning. William Schmidt up to 85 pitches. Gamble at the top of the order hitting .350. Schmidt misses somewhere.
Evidently just a shade low.
That ball was left high up into the zone, and it was spinning but not breaking enough. And so Gamble gets aboard with his first hit. He's 1 for 2. He has also walked and struck out.
And that's the first time today the leadoff hitter of an inning for Oklahoma has gotten on. William Schmidt has done really well to this point. But now the wheels start to turn. Trey Gamble on base, nobody out. Got 12 stolen bases on the year.
Camden Johnson was the home run hero in the first inning. A solo shot, his 3rd of the season, as he sent it the other way into the left center field bleachers. Ball 1.
Speaking of pitching, did you see what the Friday night guy Tyler Fay from Alabama did last night? He threw a no-hitter against Florida. 130-something pitches. It was the first solo no-hitter in Alabama program history since 1942, Lynn. That's how long it's been since their last solo no-hitter.
Right. No-hitters are so uncommon in college baseball for many reasons. Gamble stretches his lead a little bit. Not going. Liner goes to the left side. That's in there for a clean base hit. Stanfield returns it to the infield. Runners at first and second, and trouble brewing again as Oklahoma applies pressure.
And Gavin Guidry's been warming up that LSU bullpen. It's what you call beating the shift here. Just a bullet to the backside of the field, right past the third baseman, John Pearson. So first and second, and nobody out here in the 5th inning. Normally this would be a bunting situation, but with Brennan Brock, who leads Oklahoma in both home runs and RBIs, not likely bunting, I wouldn't think.
And the Tigers will gather as an infield as a preview of perhaps a change coming.
There is Mr. Guidry. He should be about ready to go. Guidry has not pitched yet in this 3-game series. So a decision for Jay Johnson. Is he going to leave William Schmidt in, or is he going to get Gavin Guidry?
I think we're getting the answer right now. Jay Johnson comes from the dugout after the timeout just to give the bullpen an extra few minutes.
It's a tough one here. If the score was a little bit different, LSU was up, say, 4-1, I think William Schmidt gets a chance to try to work out of this. But with it being a 1-run ball game.
Well, that's 4 base hits he's allowed in the last 5 batters going back to last inning, and we're going to have a pitching change right now. So Gavin Guidry is called upon to come out of the bullpen for LSU. Let's take a look at what William Schmidt has done as he leaves the mound. And we'll come back with that in just a moment. Guidry, the new pitcher. William Schmidt leaves the game after 4 innings, 6 hits allowed, 1 earned run. That was the first inning homer. A couple of walks, 7 strikeouts. And now it's Gavin Guidry.
Yeah, I love how William Schmidt elevated his game, especially in the 3rd inning, Lynn. He had the bases loaded, only 1 out, back-to-back strikeouts, and then Oklahoma threatening again in the 4th inning, and he got off the field with another strikeout. So he elevated when he needed to. A solid outing as Gavin Guidry takes the bump for LSU. 6'2", 284-pound junior out of Lake Charles. There's the numbers on the year. 15 2/3, only 10 hits. Love the strikeout to walk ratio. That is league 24 strikeouts, only 4 walks. Gavin Guidry, 3 different breaking balls, and that's kind of his bread and butter are the breaking balls. A cutter, a slider, and a curveball as well. Fastball is going to be kind of that 90 to 94 range. But he does his work, Lynn, with those breaking balls. He's got to be thinking one thing right here. How can I roll a ground ball and maybe get a double play?
Brock looks as though he wants to bunt, and he offered. It's a strike.
This is typical Skip Johnson baseball right here. Oklahoma will run a lot. We've documented that. They will bunt. They will hit and run. And even with their best hitter, potentially putting down a sacrifice bunt here.
That's not going to help things. The runners both advance into scoring position. That's a wild pitch, and the Tigers have had trouble with that a lot of times this year.
Yeah. It's a killer. I mean, you ground ball, you got a double play set up. It just bounces a breaking ball.
So now you don't have to sacrifice. The Tigers did that for the Sooners with that wild pitch. And Guidry rips one over the outside edge.
Yeah, if you look at the infield, LSU has the corners in at first base and third base a little bit. Middle infielders are playing back. They'll concede to run.
Guidry would love to record a strikeout right here. That's bouncing past third in foul territory. The first two batters had base hits, Gamble and Johnson. Guidry came out of the bullpen. He threw a wild pitch. Runners at third and second with nobody out. The 1-2 to Brock.
95 from Guidry, amped up a little bit. We don't normally see him up in that 95 range. Elevated fastball typically is backed up by some type of breaking ball. We'll see what Guidry does here. Wow. Cade Aaron Beatty behind home plate, fellas. You watch him quickly try to yank this one back. Doesn't get the call.
The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That one had some jerk to it when it got to the plate.
Yeah, that almost looked like a backup slider. That's not where Guidry wanted that ball. You can see Aaron Beatty is kind of set up on the outside part of the plate. And watch this breaking ball. It kind of stays on the inside and backs up a little bit. Nonetheless, it works, and a huge first out for LSU here in the top of the fifth inning.
There is still a task in front of Guidry and his teammates. Jackson Willits, the son of one of the assistant coaches for Oklahoma, smashes the first pitch foul. He has fly to right and struck out. Oklahoma has the tying run at third base and the go-ahead run at second. LSU has one hit in this game, and that was the two-run home run in the first inning. Gamble takes the lead from third. Johnson from second. The 0-2 pitch. Lined right at Milam. There's no chance to double up the runner at second. But Guidry is one out away from getting his team back to the dugout with a one-run lead.
Well, LSU catches a break right there, Lynn. That ball hit right on the button, but Stephen Milam positioned perfectly.
Still runners at third and second. Two outs now. Here's Dayton LaChance. He has flied to right. He has struck out. The Tigers make a switch on the infield.
Yeah, Caraway went from second base. He's playing third base now.
And Pearson has moved to between first and second. He's close to behind the bag. That's Pearson in the middle of your screen. He's moved from third base to that position. The pitch.
There you go. That's a much better block by Aaron Beatty right there.
And it results in a check swing strike.
It is so important because we know Gavin Guidry's best pitches is his breaking ball, but he's got to be able to trust Cade Arambide to say, you know what, when I need to get a strikeout or a big strike, I'm going to bounce this breaking ball, but I am trusting you to figure out a way to keep it in front.
The crowd comes alive. This is what you buy a ticket for.
It's been a good game to this point. And that shade is starting to creep in around home plate right now. So you would think the pitchers are going to have a little bit of an advantage.
We will let the crowd tell the story. Milam makes the play from shortstop. A standing ovation for the Tigers as they come off the field, having defended in a critical situation.
That's getting it done right there. And that was not an easy play by Stephen Milam, but a big-time effort by Gavin Guidry. Comes in, runners on second and third, and nobody out. Gets a strikeout, a line out, and then a ground ball to get the Tigers off the field and up by 1. Third, the fourth, and the fifth inning. Not able to scratch anything. The difference in the game so far, Lynn, Oklahoma 0 for 6 with runners in score position. LSU 1 for 3 to this point.
And the Sooners have left 7 base runners in the last 3 innings. A drive off the bat of Stanfield. You can pucker out and kiss that baby goodbye. The young man who missed 16 games with a wrist injury has just homered for the first time this year. Stanfield extends the lead. The Tigers have 2 hits in this game, and they've both been in the left field bleachers.
And Chris Stanfield does not hit many home runs, Lynn. Only 1 home run last year. That's his first long ball of the year, and it comes at a beautiful time for the Tigers. Got a fastball right in the heart of the plate. You talk about putting a barrel on one. Just blows it out of left field. Tigers up by 2 now as we're in the bottom of the 5th inning.
A swing like that will make your wrist feel real good in a hurry.
That was a big-time swing right there. Flat bat right through the path of the ball.
Here's Caraway. Ball 1.
Well, Jay Johnson said it best, and he simply said, Chris Stanfield is a difference maker for this team on both sides of the ball. Brings a ton of experience, elite speed in the outfield.
So LSU, which has been held to just 2 hits by the youngster Cord Rager, has made them count for 3 runs. A 2-run home run by Omar Cerna, who's playing first base for the first time this year. That came in the 1st inning.
And Cord Rager came in, Lim, only allowed 2 home runs the entire season at this point. LSU's got 2 on him today.
1 by Cerna, the 2nd one by Stanfield. Jackson Willits backs up, times his stretch nicely, and takes the liner off the bat of Caraway. Here's Cade Arambide. He flied to right field in his first at bat. We play in the bottom of the 5th. We're at the midway point. LSU 3, Oklahoma 1.
This is one of the guys LSU's got to get going right here is Cade Arambide. Got off to a monster start for LSU early in the year. It started to fade a little bit.
And we're going to have a pitching change right here. Gavin Jones appears to be coming out of the bullpen. We'll be back in a moment. LSU leads by 2. Oklahoma's starter Cord Rager is lifted after 4 1/3 innings. He only allowed 2 hits. They were both homers. He has walked 4 and struck out 4, and he gives way to Gavin Jones, who's a hard-throwing left-hander.
Yeah, Gavin Jones' fastball is going to average 96 miles an hour. A little cutter and a slider to go with it. junior left-hander, making his 9th appearance of the year. Walks have been a little bit of an issue for him. Does have 10 strikeouts. That's a good number. But 6 walks in 9 innings, not so much. But it is a big arm. LSU's got to find a way to keep him in the zone.
Let's take you over to South Carolina for the LSU South Carolina softball score. They play in the top of the 6th inning. LSU still leading 4-0, trying to even that series. Stanfield has ignited the crowd with his first home run of the year. Caraway followed with a line out to shortstop, and here's Aaron Beatty with nobody on base and 1 out. LSU 3, Oklahoma 1. Jones to the plate. Steve right. So both starters are out of the ball game. Both of them pitched commendably. 2 balls and a strike on Aaron Beatty. He has played on the right side in the outfield as an opposite field hitter. There's a huge gap in left center. The pitch inside. There's that gap in left center field. Aaron Beatty could run till tomorrow if he hits one out there.
Yeah, infield kind of playing just straight up. Outfield maybe shaded a little bit to the backside.
That's fouled off of Aaron Beatty's leg.
Boy, that hurts. Get a ball right off your shin. It hurts.
Aaron Beatty draws a base on balls. That turns the lineup over with Curiel coming to the plate.
Now batting for the Tigers, center fielder Derek Curiel.
Curiel has walked and rolled out to first base. Ball 1.
Oh, wow.
Snagged at third, the long throw, the pluck cannot be made successfully. Camden Johnson made a whale of a play to get to that ball, but could not connect on a bounce with Dayton LaChance.
I don't even know how Johnson even got to that ball. That was an outstanding play, and he had time to get Curiel. But the throw just a little bit short, and the first baseman LaChance couldn't dig it out. Watch this play here. Just a one-hopper. Look at the extension right there.
That's being ruled as an infield hit. And here is LSU's best striker. Jake Brown has struck out and walked. Time is called. And I think the pitch clock went to 0. That's going to be ball 1.
Yep. If you're Jake Brown now, you're just sitting on a fastball here. Looking for a mistake right in the heart of the plate. Disciplined enough to take a breaking ball.
Ball one to Brown. Cerna is on deck. Aaron Beatty is at second base. Curiel behind him at first. The pitch to Brown. Hit sharply to second. There's an out at second base. The relay to first in time for a 4-6-3 double play. And that retires the Tigers and ends the threat. But Chris Stanfield opened the bottom of the inning with a home run into the left center field bleachers. It was this pitch that Stanfield hammered home. And the Tigers take a 3-1 lead on that swing by Chris Stanfield. Welcome back, everyone. LSU is clinging to a 3-1 lead as the Tigers complete their customary soldier salute.
Gavin Guidry out for his second inning of work. William Schmidt went 4+, gave up 6 hits, 1 run. It was a solo home run there in the first inning. Walked 2 and struck out 7.
So Guidry working with a 2-run lead now. Home runs have been a critical part of LSU's offense. A 2-run home run in the first by Cerna, who's been the best hitter over the last 7 games for the Tigers. And Chris Stanfield's first home run of the season makes it a 3-1 lead after 5 innings. Guidry came out of the bullpen to throw 13 pitches last inning, and 10 of them were strikes.
Yeah, maybe the best fastball we've seen from Guidry all year long. We saw a couple of 95s. Normally don't see him up in that range.
He misses with a breaking pitch outside to the left-handed hitter, Alec Blair. That curveball drops in.
Yeah, maybe a little extra just off the outside edge.
Blair expressed his displeasure. That one drops in for a strike as well.
That's what Guidry likes to do. He likes to slow those bats down with those breaking balls. And he's got enough fastball to get it by you till you start looking breaking ball.
Guidry misses to level the count at 2. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for Oklahoma. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for LSU. Ben, you didn't know I lived in Oklahoma, did you?
I didn't know that.
Shawnee.
Why?
Why?
Yeah. Why would you want to live there? Were you there during the wintertime?
I didn't have any choice. I was just a Ute.
A Ute?
Shawnee, Oklahoma. I can distinctly remember because our neighbors had a tornado shelter. I can distinctly remember as a Ute being in that tornado shelter and being shown 5 tornadoes in the air at the same time.
Wow. That's not a good feeling.
The 3-2 pitch.
Yes, sir.
Right 3.
Little backdoor breaking ball. Alec Blair didn't like it. He didn't like a couple of those calls. But that's just a perfectly thrown breaking ball. 3-2 count. Need to throw a strike. Gavin Guidry just bends it in there. Backdoor for a strikeout.
Guidry has faced 4 batters. He's retired all of them, 2 by strikeout. And Nolan Stevens now. Ball 1.
One thing this LSU staff can do, they can rack up the strikeouts. Last 2 seasons, LSU's led the nation in strikeouts. They came in this weekend number 2 in the country in total strikeouts. Now, you can pick on the walks a little bit, LSU, from time to time, although they've cleaned it up a little bit this weekend. Maybe a few too many free passes from time to time. One thing they can do is they can strike you out.
The totals today are 9 strikeouts and 2 walks from the LSU pitching staff.
How about that? Another fastball at 95. And the shift is on now with 2 strikes. Everybody slides over to the pull side.
The 2-2 pitch coming. Right 3 called for the second straight batter.
Well, spin them if you got them, Mr. Guidry. And he is spinning those breaking balls in there. He's showing the Sooners just enough fastballs to respect it, but he's doing his work with those pitches right there.
Guidry has struck out 3 of the 5 batters he's faced. And now Branch, who is 1 for 2.
Wow. Pretty good pitch right there. Morris Hodges behind home plate. Looks like his zone may be a little bit wider than normal, but the elevation not getting a high strike.
That one wrinkles its way in. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Guidry misses well wide.
The Sooners have been to Omaha 11 times in their program history. Matter of fact, 2-time national champion, 51 and 1994.
There's the first base runner off Guidry. It comes via a 2-out walk. And speaking of walk, Jason Walk comes to the plate. Might we see Branch on the move to try to get into scoring position?
Well, Branch has only got 1 stolen base so far this year.
He's got a moderate lead. And Cerna is actually off the bag, not holding him at the bag with the left-handed batter. Watch Cerna. He's not going to go back and straddle the bag in tag formation. So he's trying to cover a little more ground defensively.
Yeah, he wants to be able to bounce off a little bit more.
Walk took a rip. He falls behind 2 strikes.
Remember, Jason Walk struck out in his last at bat, and he struck out with a breaking ball kind of down and in from William Schmidt.
That's what he gets
Just
again.
about right there. How
He
about
strikes
you?
out 3, Mr. McDonald.
Yeah, Mr. Guidry's doing it today, folks. Struck out the first 2, a walk, and then a final strikeout to get Jason Walk. We'll take a look at all 3 of them. Breaking ball, a little backdoor looking. Comes right back again with another breaking ball. Looking again, and then finally dialing in and just underneath the bat of Jason Walk. So Guidry coming in and struck out 4.
All the runs in the first inning came off of homers, and there was a single home run in the 5th by Stanfield. So home runs have been dominant in this game. Base hits have been difficult to find. Caden Leon is pitching for the second straight day. He worked a little over an inning yesterday, Ben.
Yeah.
This Austin, Texas right-hander, Caden Leon.
Threw 27 pitches last night. Another big arm come out of this Sooners bullpen. Fastball averages 95, curveball, and a changeup as well. But he's going to be heavy on the fastball and curveball. That's his main two pitches. He's had an outstanding year to this point.
He went an inning and a third yesterday. He did not allow a hit. He walked a couple and struck out one. Here's Omar Cerna. He has homered and popped up to second base. Cerna is starting to make his mark, starting to make his influence felt offensively for the Tigers. He's playing first base for the first time in this season as he hits it sharply right to the glove on a hop. Jackson Willits turns it into an out.
Yeah, Cerna wasn't playing a whole lot early in the year. But when he got his opportunities, he got Jay Johnson's attention. And now Jay Johnson's finding a way to get Cerna and Aaron Beatty in the lineup pretty much every day now.
Zach York has gone through a bit of a slump at the plate. He struck out 4 times yesterday. He's not starting at first base for the first time this year.
Yeah, and of course, York being left-handed, and Oklahoma started a left-hander today. And so it kind of makes sense. You put Cerna in the lineup. Now, I could see a scenario where Cade York's going to come in and get a pinch hitting appearance, especially later in this ball game, maybe when Oklahoma brings a right-hander in.
LSU has 2 homers and a single, only 3 hits, but they do have the 3-1 lead. That's a nice bender as it curls right over the plate. Pearson tattooed one yesterday. He lifts this one up the elevator shaft. The second baseman gives way to the right fielder. And the right fielder, Alec Blair, makes the catch. That's well done between the outfield and the infield.
Really good communication, because you could see the second baseman, Branch, going out. He was calling the ball. I got it. But then he heard from the outfielder, Alec Blair, out in right field. Of course, outfielders have priority over all infielders. The center fielder has the most priority. If he calls it, get out of the way. Outfielders have priority over the infielders. That was well done. Good communication on a windy day. Looks like Jay Johnson's going to call an offensive timeout.
So we're set to resume action. Milam batting from the left side against the right-handed pitching. He's hitting .268 when he bats as a left-hander against right-handed pitching. He's hitting .174 on the other side. Strike one. Cord Ragers went 4 1/3. Gavin Jones came on for a short relief stint. And now Caden Leon. Strike two.
Skip Johnson, the head coach for Oklahoma, he calls all the pitches.
Let's see what Milam gets now on the 2-2 offering. A ground out and a fly ball out have produced a couple of outs. And second baseman Branch is way out on the outfield grass. Milam hits it his way. He's going to have to charge it. Gets there, has to wait for the first baseman to retreat and assume receiving position, and they do it as Branch to LaChance results in the third out. So a 1-2-3 inning. LSU 3, Oklahoma 1. The seventh inning is straight ahead.
Big difference in this ball game. Oklahoma has had some opportunities today. 2 for 9 with runners on, and how about 0 for 6 runners in scoring position. And if you go look at the 3 games so far, Oklahoma just 3 for 23 with runners in scoring position in these 3 games. So LSU pitching has found a way to elevate in the big moments.
Indeed. Are you ready for some SEC updates?
I'm always ready for some SEC updates.
In the 6th, Kentucky leads Ole Miss. It's 8-5. Alabama over Florida 4-2 in the 7th. Georgia 4-2 over Texas A&M in the 6th. Arkansas has scored early, 1-0 over South Carolina in the 4th. And starting right now, Missouri and Tennessee, Vanderbilt and Mississippi State, and Texas and Auburn. Those are night games.
Alabama got swept last weekend, knocked off Florida last night behind a no-hitter, and leading them again today. So Alabama bouncing back.
LSU has made some defensive changes. Jack Ruckert has replaced Caraway at second base, and Caraway has gone over to third with John Pearson being removed from the game. So Caraway at third, Milam the shortstop, Ruckert the new second baseman, and Cerna holds on at first. Aaron Beatty is catching, Stanfield, Curiel, and Brown in the outfield. Gamble at first base after drawing the walk. He's been aboard 3 times. He has struck out, walked twice, and singled. And here is Camden Johnson. His first inning home run is the only time that Oklahoma has changed the scoreboard. Guidry takes care of business on strikes.
That hard slider or cutter, whatever you want to call it, it has been the money ball so far today from Gavin Guidry. And he's throwing it in the perfect place, Lynn. He's getting it down and in where he wants it, and just underneath the bat of the left-handed hitters.
Brendan Brock. Brock has fanned 3 times. He was the first batter that Guidry faced. William Schmidt started. He went 4 innings. He allowed 6 hits and a run. He walked 2, struck out 7.
Brendan Brock was the SEC Player of the Week last week. Had a monster week. Couple of homers, 8 RBIs. He is the big bat in this lineup.
Guidry spins it in again.
That's what he did last week. 5 extra base hits. So he had 8 hits, 5 of which were extra base hits.
A runner at first base with 1 out.
Careful here.
Guidry has walked 2 of the first 3 batters he's faced. I've got LSU with 12 strikeouts against 4 walks tonight.
Can the Tigers pitch out of trouble again?
They've done it a few times.
Sooners have only gone 1, 2, 3. They've gone just one time, and that was in the second inning in order. Every other inning, it's been traffic.
Now batting shortstop, Jackson Willis.
11 base runners this afternoon so far for Oklahoma. Willits takes a strike. Guidry starts him with a fastball. The tying run is at first base. Willits lifts this one out of play. That's up on the roof. Guidry works ahead. 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 aboard. LSU 3, Oklahoma 1.
Elevated fastball to get strike 2. Be ready for the breaking ball down, and Aaron Beatty's going to have to block it if it gets in the dirt. Maybe a little bit higher than he wanted it.
Guidry is ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2 critical base runners on base for Oklahoma. The pitch gets away. The runners move up into scoring position.
That ball shot away, didn't it? I thought it might have hit Willits for a second, but apparently it didn't. Watch this ball kick.
That's a wild pitch. And now the task becomes a bit more difficult. Guidry really needs a strikeout here with 1 out and a runner at third and another one at second. The 2-2 pitch. He struck him out swinging.
And he didn't go with the hard cutter this time. It was the big curveball. Boy, watch this. This is a thing of beauty. You talk about tough to navigate if you're standing at home plate.
Now batting, first baseman, technically chance.
6 strikeouts for Guidry. And what, 7 for Schmidt?
Yeah. And can LSU pitch and do it yet again?
The infield is back with 2 outs. Fastball hammered foul by Dayton LaChance. LaChance represents the go-ahead run. Brock at second base is the would-be tying run. We play in the 7th. 3-1 LSU. All 3 runs coming off home runs.
And Oklahoma just searching for that big base hit. It has eluded them today. So many opportunities with runners in score position, and they are here yet again.
LaChance is a .400 hitter so far this year with runners in scoring position. In fact, well over that, .469. Let's let the crowd tell you what happens. 2 outs, 2 on, 2-run ball game. LSU leading. A 1-2 count on Dayton LaChance. Milam, backhanded side. Can you believe that? Can you believe it?
He's like a human vacuum cleaner over there. Stephen Milam, only 5 errors made last year at the shortstop position. He doesn't have 1 this year.
That's an incredible play.
Love how he got to this ball, circled it to the backhand side, quickly on his feet, and just a dart. And who says you don't have enough arm to play the deep shortstop position? Mr. Milam, a bullet A perfect throw, and LSU.
Oklahoma had 12 hits in the series. LSU had 15. So each team has 18 hits to this point in the 3-game series. Dardar taking an at-bat right here, pops it up a mile in the air and handled by the third baseman.
At the plate for the Tigers, left fielder, Chris Stanfield.
I mean, it's been a total of 18 runs. A total of 18 runs scored in this series.
Dardar batting for Yaman in the DH position. Here's Chris Stanfield. He gave LSU some very important insurance with his first home run of the season in his last at bat.
This game a long way from being over.
Stanfield has earned well-deserved recognition for his support of the Miracle League and really takes philanthropic activity seriously. You can see he chokes up maybe an inch and a half. Punches this one the other way. LSU has evened the series with South Carolina in softball, 5-1 the final. LSU lost in 12 innings last night in softball, but comes back to even the series 5-1 at South Carolina. CC Silura got the victory in the circle. She's 4-2 on the year. 3-2 pitch hit very high to right field. Right fielder having difficulty. The center fielder comes over and ran a long way to get to it, but Jason Walk knew that was going to be trouble for Blair.
Give Jason Walker, center fielder, a lot of credit for not assuming that Alec Blair, the right fielder, was going to catch this ball. I mean, this ball is pretty well straight away right field. I mean, that's kind of where it is. He recognized right away that Blair wasn't going to find the ball. Blair never saw it at the right fielder. As you mentioned, it is a tough sky right now, especially for the right fielder, because they are looking directly into the sun.
Here's Caraway. He's 0 for 2. He lined out to the shortstop last time and bounced out 5-3 in his first at bat. He started the game at second base. He has moved to third now. Caraway lofts one into center field, and that's his first base hit. It comes with 2 outs.
Trent Caraway got off to a good start for the Tigers, too.
He did.
It's slowed down a little bit.
Now batting for the Tigers, catcher Arambidi.
So the Tigers have 4 hits now, and here's Arambidi. 2 of the 4 hits have been homers. That's the difference in the game. LSU 3-1 over Oklahoma. That's going to move Caraway into scoring position.
LSU's only had 4 opportunities. This will be the 5th opportunity with a runner in scoring position today. Tigers are 1 for 4.
So the wild pitch advances Caraway. Arambidi has fly to right, and he has walked. He was the first batter, or actually was the first batter that Jones faced, the first reliever for Oklahoma. Three balls, no strikes. Curiel would be next. The 3-1 pitch to Cade Arambidi. That's downstairs. Runners at first and second.
Yeah, Leon got the first 2 batters pretty quickly. He got fly ball, back-to-back fly balls, and then a base hit and now a walk. And Skip Johnson quickly out of that Oklahoma dugout.
And Jackson Cleveland, a right-hander, is going to be the next pitcher. So we'll take a timeout right here and see if LSU can advance its lead. The Tigers have a 3-1 advantage. Making his 10th appearance. He's had 1 decision that went in the win column, 4.38 ERA.
Another strike thrower, 13 strikeouts, only 3 walks. He actually pitched in yesterday's game too, only threw 8 pitches. Look at his numbers on the year. Fastball's going to average 92. A couple of different breaking balls and a changeup as well. Main 2 pitches are his fastball and his curveball though.
He will face Derek Curiel. 2 outs, 2 on. Oklahoma is trying to stay in striking distance.
LSU looking for a little insurance. Oklahoma trying to draw a line in the sand right here.
Camden Johnson was the second batter back in the first inning. He homered, and since then there have been 6 zeros put on the board. Curiel hits it off the chest of the third baseman. He recovers, makes the throw, and the out is made at first base. So Johnson recovered, got Curiel. 1 pitch, 1 out from Jackson Cleveland. We remain LSU 3, Oklahoma 1. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, we've got a dandy ball game working. Only 10 hits. Oklahoma took the lead in the top of the first on a home run. LSU regained the lead with a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first. They got a solo home run in the 6th, or make that the 5th, and we play in the 8th right now with a 3-1 score. LSU holding on. Guidry has come out of the bullpen. He's been effective so far.
I need to look, but what's Guidry's longest outing of the year so far? He's back out again?
We'll check that.
LSU does have some bullpen activity. It's the big right-hander Devin Sharon is heating up. So we're hearing that Guidry's longest outing of the year, 3 2/3. That was against Dartmouth.
He has fallen behind 3-0. And the critical thing about a 2-run advantage is every time Oklahoma gets a base runner, it brings the potential tying run to the plate.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important not to give out free passes. Make them earn their way on the base pass.
Alec Blair has flied to right, grounded to third, and struck out. And he walks on 4 pitches. Guidry has walked 1, 2, 3, 4 now. That's been the only blemish to his relief outing today. Here's Nolan Stevens. LSU is heating folks up quickly in the bullpen. There's a nice bender for a strike.
Well, that's what Oklahoma does, man. They find a way on the base pass. Came into this weekend leading the SEC in stolen bases and walks. Hadn't seen many of those from Guidry. Took a little off with a changeup.
Oklahoma is 0 out of 8 with runners in scoring position. 0 for 4 with a runner at third base and less than 2 outs. And 0 for 2 with the bases loaded. They've left 10. So they've had some opportunities, but have not been able to fully open the door.
Yeah, and give LSU pitching staff credit. I mean, again, they have found a way in those big moments to elevate and be a little bit better than this Sooner offense to this point.
Here's a big moment here. Guidry misses upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Guidry now at 67 pitches.
He's worked 3 innings to this point. And he's walked the opening batter. That's hit up the middle. The runner's going to go from first to third. And there is trouble brewing as Oklahoma just keeps offering itself opportunities. Stevens with a bouncer up the middle, a clean base hit, and Blair scampered to third base without a throw.
Well, that's what we said. This game a long way from being over, and Oklahoma can strike quickly.
Ben, do I have this right? That's the first base hit that Guidry has allowed?
That's what I have. You mentioned got a few walks mixed in there, 4 of them. But that's the first base hit. If you're Gavin Guidry now, you almost forget about the runner at third base. You got a 2-run lead. You focus on the guy at first base and the guy at the plate.
Well, Harris is the pinch runner at first base. So Stevens, the DH, is replaced by Harris after he singles, and that is wrapped into left field for a base hit on the first pitch. And here comes Oklahoma.
It was just a matter of time. They'd given themselves so many opportunities, especially with runners in score position. That's their first base hit with a runner in score position. Kyle Branch wasted no time at all. First pitch he sees. Jay Johnson quickly out of that LSU dugout.
And after a long drought in changing the scoreboard, Oklahoma has added 1 here in the 8th to its run in the first. We've got a 3-2 ball game with Oklahoma still nobody out and runners at first and second.
And I think Jay Johnson's going to leave Guidry in the game, and I'm going to tell you why. This is a green light bunt right here is what's coming. Gavin Guidry is a much better, because he played shortstop in high school, he is a really good fielding pitcher. And bunt's going to be on, so I think Jay Johnson's going to leave him in. He's going to let him try to field this bunt. They're going to try to get the runner at third base if they can. If they can't, they'll collect the out over at first base. But you got to feel like Oklahoma is definitely bunting. You got the 9-hole hitter coming to the plate. Down 1.
Now batting, center fielder Jason Long.
Let's see if LSU, how they run their bunt defense here. Pick off first just to keep them close to the bag. The closer you can keep that runner at second base, the better chance you're going to have to try to get that lead out over at third base if a bunt goes down.
A walk, a base hit, and an RBI single by Branch have closed the gap. Oklahoma trailing only by 1 and an opportunity to tie or take the lead. 1-0 on Jason Walk. He has an infield hit. He has struck out twice. Guidry was able to strike him out a couple of innings ago.
Now the pitcher Guidry, he's going to be responsible for the ball back to him and towards the third base line. Cerner's going to crash hard from first base. If it's a hard bunt to the first baseman Cerner, he may go across the diamond to Carraway to get the lead runner. If it's a hard bunt to Guidry, he'll do the same thing. If it's a good bunt, you get the out at first base.
And then you're looking for a strikeout.
Well, that's when Sharon will probably come in.
The 1-1 pitch spins the hitter out of there. 2 balls and a strike.
Guidry starting to run on fumes a little bit here. That fastball's been 93 to 95. That one 91.
Guidry's going to have to go to first base, and he does. A close play there, but the Tigers get an out.
Really good bunt right there by Jason Walk. I mean, you can't put it down any better than that.
That's the first out. The tying run at third base, the go-ahead run at second base. And Guidry will not be able to finish or go any farther.
Now, Trey Gamble's coming up. He's the leadoff hitter. He's a left-handed hitter. So Jay Johnson might be going to the left-hander here. We'll see. Is it going to be Sharon? Yeah, Sharon. He's looking for the strikeout here.
So we will take a timeout as the game is on the line here in the 8th. LSU is leading by 1, but Oklahoma is threatening. He went 3 1/3, allowed 2 hits, 1 run to this point, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. And now it is Sheeran who has a big task ahead of him. He's trying to protect the 1-run lead. But there are 2 runners aboard. This big sophomore can throw hard. He's out of Reading, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's big time stuff. I mean, the fastball is going to average 97. Lynn, look at the strikeouts. 11 1/3, 21 strikeouts, and that's exactly what he's looking for here. Is a strikeout.
He's only been touched for 4 hits over the course of those 11 1/3 innings. He's walked 6. With a runner at third and less than 2 outs, Sheeran will be seeking that second out on strikes.
Tying run just 90 feet away. Go ahead run out at second base, and anything could happen here. Trey Gamble can hit. Came in hitting .356, but also he's very good at putting the ball on the ground too. And I wouldn't be shocked if we saw some type of a squeeze or a safety squeeze.
He's at the top of the order for a reason. Sheeran delivers a swing and a foul back. The LSU pitching staff has 16 strikeouts in game 1, 10 in game 2, 13 in game 3. And number 14 is on the mind of Sheeran right here. Gamble is a very tough out, hitting .361, and Sheeran threw it by him. That was 97 miles an hour.
And not only 97, it's 97 right at the top or just above the top of the zone, and that is hard to catch up to.
Sheeran quickly ahead, 2 strikes. He dips, he fires, that's slice foul. LSU has struck out 39 batters over the course of 3 games. Number 40 would be huge for the home team. The 0-2 again. Gamble is showing no sign of backing down at the plate. Still with the full swing.
Boy, if he could get that fastball in at 97 and maybe about 6 inches higher than what he's thrown the last two, he may get what he's looking for in a swing and a miss.
8 hits now for Oklahoma. They've doubled up LSU in that category.
And Aaron Beatty's got to be ready. He has got to be ready for anything here to keep the ball in front.
Here we go at 0-2. Ripped foul. That's off the protective net. On the right side. Guarding those folks with those great ground level seats. What a battle we've got. Sheeran has thrown nothing but strikes. Gamble has spoiled some of them. The pitch. That's down and in.
Nice block by Aaron Beatty.
That's exactly what you were talking about.
You got to be able to trust him. These catchers work so hard. Omar Cerner Jr. and Cade Aaron Beatty at blocking those balls. Because as a pitcher, I got to know, I got to trust you. Because if I'm going for a strikeout, it's going to be elevated fastballs or breaking balls in the dirt.
Let's see if anybody has a play. No. And a young man from Morganza is going to be taking that baseball home for a souvenir.
Couple of sliders. I still think elevated fastball, just about letter high, right down the middle.
Here comes the 8th pitch of this at bat.
He hit him.
He sure did. And Gamble is not getting up very quickly. So Gamble able to spoil enough pitches. Remember, he fell behind 0-2.
Yep. He fought off some tough pitches too. Sheeran tried to get that breaking ball down and in a little bit too far in. And that's not the worst thing in the world. That sets up a ground ball double play.
But Sheeran was 1 pitch away from a strikeout. He just couldn't get it by Gamble on several 2-strike pitches. And now the water gets a little deeper. The infield is back. Looking to roll a double play. Camden Johnson, who has a home run to his credit and a single and a walk and a strikeout. Strike 1. For the 2nd straight batter, Sheeran has 2 strikes. Camden Johnson trying to break this game apart on behalf of Oklahoma. 1-2. He's 0 for 1 with the bases loaded this year. He's walked a couple of times and been hit by a pitch. Has Camden Johnson. Sheeran to the plate. Ground ball, might be a pair. Fumbled by Ruckert, gets the out at first. But he had a really good opportunity to turn 2 and just could not make that initial pickup.
And that's why Ruckert's in the game. We've seen Jay Johnson do this
Oklahoma
time and time again.
is challenging the ruling of out at first base.
It was a tailor-made double play, a little bit of a bobble by Ruckert. Looked like he collected the out over at first base, though. Hard to tell from that angle.
So Birmingham, the review panel there.
You youngsters at home, don't slide into first base. It is not faster to slide into first base. Run through the bag. How many times have you ever seen Usain Bolt dive at the finish line when he's sprinting? How many times have you ever seen him dive?
Well, never.
Right, because it's not faster. You run through the line.
We're going to get the Hawkeye view right here.
Boy, that is a close play right there. Gloves there now. Ball's in the glove. It's hard to tell when he exactly touches the bag.
You can almost look for the shadow. When you see the shadow go away, that means his hand is on the bag. See that shadow?
Shadow's gone. Not quite.
I think he's safe. But it doesn't matter what I think.
Well, again, is there enough evidence to overturn the call?
They're going to review this very carefully in Birmingham in the very sophisticated review booths. And then word will come right now.
After review, the runner will be safe. Oklahoma retains their last challenge.
Well, that's a very costly bobble by the second baseman, Ruckert. That ball was certainly on path to be a double play.
Yep.
And instead, they didn't get anything.
How about catcher the Brindley Braun?
I don't know if they're going to call that a hit or an error. You would think it'd be an error.
Yeah, it's got to be an error. But there is an RBI.
Yeah, he'll get credit for an RBI.
And we've got a 3-3 game.
With the go-ahead run just 90 feet away.
So an error on Ruckert. And the pitch pops the mitt for a strike. 0-2 on Brock. So Ben, on each of the three batters that Sheeran has faced, he has picked up 2 quick strikes.
But hadn't been able to quite finish with a strikeout. Sometimes it's easy to get 2 strikes. That third one, much more difficult.
A liner out to right. This is going to be plenty deep enough to score the go-ahead run for Oklahoma. The runner from second will take third, and that ball is not cut off properly on the infield, and it allowed the runner from first to move up. So LSU mishandling some fundamental stuff here. And Oklahoma leads it 4-3 with 3 in the 8th.
Well, remember, this is Omar Cerner Jr.'s first time to play first base this year, and this is his cutoff. Any ball hit to the outfield with runners on base, second and third, it's the first baseman's responsibility from right field to be the cutoff guy, and nobody was there.
Two outs now. But Oklahoma is in an advantageous position. That's going to be a sacrifice and an error on the throw by Brown, although he really didn't have a target to throw it to. Jackson Willits takes a strike. Boy, this has been a breakthrough inning for Oklahoma.
Oklahoma just keeps coming after you, man.
And LSU has helped the cause on a couple of occasions. Willits out of Fort Cobb, Oklahoma. They're going to wave him down on a 3-1 count. So an intentional pass for Willits.
And Oklahoma has batted around here in the top of the 8th.
The Tigers have had several opportunities to build a dam around Oklahoma in this inning, but Oklahoma has fought off several 0-2 counts and managed with some LSU help to take a 3-run 8th and a chance for more. It's a 4-3 ball game now. Boy, the worm can turn in a hurry,
Yes.
can't it?
We said it a couple innings ago. This game's a long way from being over.
That's the 22nd pitch in relief for Sheeran. This young man, LaChance, has been very good with the bases loaded. He's 4 for 6, and he's had 9 driven in. There's a quick strike. 96.5 miles an hour. Brown is locating it. Let's see if he's got it. He does. He stares it into his glove through the sunshine, and the inning is over. But Oklahoma has regained the lead, or actually, with a 3 spot, makes it a 4-3 game. Remaining at their disposal. Trail by 1, 4-3. Oklahoma trying to take 2 out of 3 from LSU in Baton Rouge. Jake Brown has struck out, walked, and bounced into a double play. He's first pitch swinging and lines it foul. A changeup is hit deep the other way at the wall.
Wow.
Caught at the wall. What a play by Trey Gamble.
Are you kidding me?
Well, this is what Oklahoma has done the entire series. Its defense has been golden.
Yeah. A little bit of trouble in game 1. They made 3 errors in 1 inning in game 1, but you won't see a better play than that. Gamble wide open to the backhand side as he crashes in the wall and collects it. Certainly was going to be extra bases.
And now we may take another look at this. Did he trap it against the fence?
The crew chief review on this one.
And Ben, let me backtrack. Well, we'll wait for the announcement.
LSU is challenging the ruling of a catch.
Let me backtrack. Certainly there was that game that you did earlier where there were those 3 errors in 1 inning. But other than that, we've seen some spectacular plays by outfielders, by infielders.
Camden Johnson over at third base made a couple of great plays.
Indeed. So Oklahoma has certainly made some superb defensive plays.
You know, and that's the difference in these SEC series, winning and losing them in these ball games, is making the defensive plays sometimes. LSU had an opportunity and kicked the ball over at second base. Could have been a double play. Could have got LSU off the field. Play wasn't. Yeah, he's got it in the glove right there.
But does it roll out and then he reclaims it?
I don't think it did. I think it was a clean catch.
After review, it is a catch. LSU has no challenges remaining.
That's a rather forceful declaration. So it was a catch. Give full credit to Trey Gamble in left field. Those are the types of things that win ball games. They don't make the headlines the next day, but they win ball games. Here's Cerna. Jackson Cleveland misses with a breaking pitch. 4 runs, 8 hits for Oklahoma, 3 runs. LSU has been limited to 4 hits. 2-0, and the Tigers will take a base runner or 2 any way they can get them. Cerna is played deep and as an opposite field hitter between center field and right. 2-1 on a 3-hour-long game to this point. Now the count is even. Cerna taking a pitch over the plate for a 2-2 count. The infield is shifted to the left. Cleveland tried to sneak one over the outside edge. He missed it wide. That cauterizes the outside corner. Cerna thought it was ball 4 wide, but he's called out on strikes.
Big time pitch by Jackson Cleveland right there. Just missed with the 2-2 pitch. Fastball was just a hair off the outside edge, but not this one. That's what I call dotting the I. Too close to take and a big strikeout.
And that's his first strikeout of the game.
Boy, the Sooners have some big arms coming out of that dugout. Every reliever we have seen pushes the ball up to the mid-90s.
Here's Jack Ruckert making his first at bat. Check it. Ruckert will not come to the plate. This will be Mason Braun, the freshman. Braun, first pitch swinging. Hits a one-hopper into the chest of the third baseman Johnson. He throws it over, and the Tigers, as it turns out, go very quietly in the 8th, 3 up, 3 down.
Well, the difference in this inning right here, the left fielder, Trey Gamble. Watch this play right here. You won't see a better play than that all day long. Robs Jake Brown of extra bases. Sooners up by 1.
For LSU, the winner of this game wins the series 2-1. We will check some other SEC scores for you in just a moment as we update our scoreboard. Ethan Kloss has gone into the game defensively for LSU, so it's Kloss at second base now. Caraway started there, then gave way to Ruckert. Ruckert was pinch hit for, and now it is Kloss. So it's Caraway at third, Milam the shortstop, Kloss the new second baseman, Cerna at first, Stanfield, Curiel, and Brown in the outfield. And Aaron Beatty catching. Alec Blair will lead it off. Sheeran misses, ball 1. Blair is hitting .300. He's looking for his first base hit. 2-0. Only 4 hits for the Tigers. They've hit a couple of homers. That's the good news. But the other side of that, Ben, they've only had 19 hits in 3 games in this series.
A low-scoring series all the way around.
Sheeran induces a weak swing, and that brings the count to 2. And we are ready for some SEC updates. We've got some finals now. We'll pass these along right after this pitch. Ole Miss outscored Kentucky 12-9. The Rebels get the win. Alabama 8, Florida 4. Alabama has won the 2 games in that series. Georgia 8-2 over Texas A&M. That's in the 8th inning. Also in the 8th inning, South Carolina is leading Arkansas now 2-1 after trailing early. The other games will be later. Missouri and Tennessee. Vanderbilt plays at Mississippi State. Texas and Auburn tonight. And you are up to date in the SEC. LSU softball team beat South Carolina to even that series at 1-1. Here's Harris, the DH. He's from Plano, Texas. Sheeran gets him to offer weekly.
Tried to bend that slider and it looked like just got a little bit too far in.
One out. Harris getting his first at bat. He came in as a pinch runner for the DH Stevens. That's a little bit wide, and we go to 2-2. The outfield is deep and straight away for the most part. The 2-2 pitch from Sheeran. $12,503 paid to see this game. That's the number of tickets that were sold. Sheeran thought he had the strike down around the knees, but didn't get the call. And Harris is at first base. We might see him disengage from the bag shortly.
He's 5 for 6 in stolen bases this year, is Harris.
And with a 1-run lead, they would love to get him into scoring position to add to the advantage.
Yeah. Well, Skip Johnson's not any different than most coaches. When they get a lead on you, and what they can do is pressure you up, that's when they even get more aggressive. So I'm like you. I wouldn't be shocked at all if Harris takes off the first couple of pitches. Sheeran's a big guy, 6'6", takes him a little time to unwind.
Kyle Branch from Lucas, Texas. And the pitch. There goes the runner. Aaron Beatty never caught the ball.
I mean, that's what speed does to you. It speeds you up as a defender. And Aaron Beatty trying to be a little bit too quick because he knows the speed of Harris.
That'll be a stolen base since Harris was off with the pitch.
See, coming up out of that crouch, just trying to get the early ball, hits right off the tip of the glove.
LSU's next game will be Tuesday. Louisiana Tech will be here. We'll have it for you right where we are now on the SEC ESPN network. And then Kentucky will be the next SEC opponent.
A very good Kentucky team, too. That's this SEC schedule, man. They are no breaks anywhere.
Oklahoma took a 1-0 lead on a home run in the first. Saw that go away with LSU's 2-run homer in the first. Tigers had a 3-1 lead after 5. But a 3-run 8th inning is the difference, as Oklahoma has overtaken LSU and leads it by 1 in the 9th. It's a 4-3 ball game. Branch is 2 for 3. He's knocked in a run. Curiel retreating and gets into the landing zone. The runner from second base tags and makes it easily. So Harris scampers up on the deep fly ball to center field. He's at third base with 2 outs. This is Jason Walk's turn. At the bottom of the order, he has an infield hit. He has struck out twice. And a sacrifice bunt.
Well, if you're Oklahoma, you'd love to take a 2-run lead into the bottom of the 9th inning. If you're LSU, you got to keep it right where it's at.
Sheeran steers in a strike. And another one.
Back-to-back sliders just on the outside edge. Both of them back door.
Two outs, 2 strikes, a runner at third base. Oklahoma leads by 1 in the 9th. He struck him out swinging. And Sheeran leaves a runner at third. But the Tigers need 1 to tie, 2 to win as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning in Baton Rouge. This crowd will try to send out encouragement to the Tigers, who trail by 1. Oklahoma has been a scrappy, very opportunistic defensive team, other than 1 inning very early in the series. But in games 2 and 3 in the series, defense has been terrific for Oklahoma. Milam, his first pitch swinging, and hits a 2-hopper right into the midsection of Branch, who gets the throw over to LaChance for the out. So Milam very quickly is retired 4-3.
We'll take some late matching from LSU.
Here's Seth Dardar. He's batted once and popped up to the third baseman. They shift dramatically to the right for Dardar. Hitting .224. Ball 1 high, couple of homers. Most of the damage he has done offensively this year has come early. The Tigers let a 3-1 lead get away when they allowed 3 in the 8th. Dardar hits a little soft dropping liner that's caught by the second baseman. Branch was in the right place. And now there are 2 outs. Here's Stanfield. He'd love to do what he did earlier.
Man, that was in the 5th inning, and boy, he got him a fastball right in the heart of the plate. Buried it out for his first long ball of the year. At the time, that put LSU up 3-1. It looked pretty good, but a 3-run 8th by Oklahoma has changed it.
Stee right to Stanfield. Oklahoma would win for the 19th time and go to 4-2 in the SEC. The Tigers would fall to 16-9 without a rally, and 2-4 after 2 weekends in the SEC. Stanfield chops it to the left side. It's a fair ball behind the bag, and this game is over. Johnson to LaChance for the out. Cleveland is the winning pitcher. He's 2-0. Guidry absorbs the loss. He's 3-3. And Oklahoma, with a 3-run 8th inning, or 3-run 7th inning, overcomes an LSU lead. And Ben, the Sooners were scrappy enough and persistent enough to take 2 out of 3.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I give Oklahoma relievers a lot of credit. I mean, Rager came in, he gave up 3 runs, but then the relievers for Oklahoma just stacked 0 after 0, gave their offense an opportunity to climb back in. And although Oklahoma owned the series, they go 4 for 30 with runners in scoring position, somehow win 2 of 3. So a tough loss to the Tigers. They'll have to regroup. And I tell you what, Oklahoma is rolling. They have won back-to-back SEC series, their first 2 of the year. And so Tigers will have to regroup and get ready for a midweek game, and Kentucky coming to town next weekend.
And LSU will have to re-energize its offense, which collected only 19 hits in the 3